Okay, now the next thing we want to do, once we have a final design, just going to close that lid. What we need to do is to create a working drawing from this. So we need to put the drawing with dimensions and we need to lay it out properly. So I did a basic one of our mitre joint. So you can see at this point I've got no rendering on it. So a working drawing is just a line drawing. It has dimensions, properly done. And again, we can do this in Sketchup. Now, working drawing has a view from the top, so we call that plan view. And then it will have side views, side elevations, and various others. Now again, in SketchUp, it's very quick and easy to do that. So if I click on camera, the first thing I want to do is take it off of perspective, and I'm going to put it into parallel projection. So that's similar to, if I rotate now, similar to how you would have it, say, in isometric. So all the dimensions are roughly the same. You can see it distorts the view slightly. So I'm going to put standard views and then I'm going to click top. So that gives me a top view of my drawing. If I click standard views and I click front, okay, that shows me the front with respect to my axis. If I put the axis on, you can see that's the red and blue axis, so we're looking from the green axis. Again, if I go to standard views, there is an isometric view. Click the back, so that's the other side of it. Views, front, I'll just look to the front. So if I go from the left, okay, that's the left view. If I rotate, oh, that's the wrong thing. Let's go back to that. So left, so that's my left hand view. And you can see the view clearly. Okay, so now before I put dimensions, it's quite helpful to be able to turn the dimensions on and off. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a new layer to put dimensions on. So if you click Window, Default Tray, and then click Layers, now you can see I've already got it checked. So check layers. Then in your default tray on the edge here, you will find a layers button. So let's get rid of that one. Layers. Okay, now I'm going to add a new layer and I'm going to call it dimensions. Okay, I can then click the button to say that whatever I draw now is on this dimensions layer. Okay. So if you put all your dimensions on that layer, then we can make the layer visible and invisible. Okay, so now I've got a large tool set here, so my dimensions are there. If you haven't, just go to Tools, come down, and there's the Dimension tool. So I click Dimensions. If I click to an edge, to another edge, okay, and then I can place that there. Now, the dimensions on here, because the writing is very thin, it doesn't show up too well. So we can change the position. If we go to Window, Model Info, and then you can see there's lots of different things we can fiddle with. So I'm going to go to Dimensions. We can change whether you want arrows or not. We're going to keep them as arrows. Now we want to align to the dimension line, and we're going to select all dimensions, update selected dimensions, and it will show us. Okay, to change the font so that it affects all of our dimensions, I'm going to click Arial bold to make it 14. Click update and you'll see now we've got it running along the line, not through it. Okay, that should now apply to all dimensions that you do. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the axis. You can add in more dimensions, so it would be helpful to have one to show the width. on the bottom there. Can dimension certain lines, but you have to be actively editing the component. So that blue line, you can see it's turned blue. If I click on it once, you'll see it adds a dimension. Could do the same down the bottom here. So that's turned blue. Put a dimension on there. Okay, I'm going to come out of the edit. Now you can see I've got key dimensions in all of these places. Okay, the dimensions are what we call dynamic. So if I change, I'll just show you, if I go into here, if I were to change the height of this, you can see the dimension is changing with it. Okay, just to go back to that, it's really important that your dimensions are as part of the actual group. So you need to edit and then put the dimension in. So that way, if you make any changes, then your dimensions will dynamically change with any changes you make. Okay. Now, once you've got it set up, we don't want the render to appear on our working drawing. So if you've got the online version, you can just click on wireframe and then you've got just a line drawing. I'm not sure about the online version, but if you click into here where it says different styles and we click straight lines, then you can find a straight line drawing which has slightly thicker lines and makes your drawing clearer. Okay, once you're happy, print screen, go to your working drawings, create a new page. So I'm going to create a new page here which says working drawings, put in my dimension drawing, crop it down. Okay, that will be my end view. So if I go back to Sketchup, now just one thing that I haven't shown you is in the layers, so my dimensions are on the dimension layer. If I go back to the normal layer and then hide, so if I select this to be invisible, then you can see the dimensions disappear. So if I wanted to do other things to this and the dimensions were getting in my way, then I would just make them invisible. When you're adding them, make sure that that layer is checked, otherwise they'll be on the wrong layer. Okay, because you can see as you rotate, the dimensions still remain. Okay, so now if I go to, let's do the top view. Okay, so I'm going to just double click. A dimension here. I'll put one in here. For some reason that's slightly longer than I expected. But for this demo, it doesn't matter. Print screen, go back, pop that in. For the moment, I'm just going to position them anywhere on the page, but you'll see in a minute that drawings need to be placed, working drawings need to be placed in a particular way. So if I do a front view, then I can add in the same. So you can see that there, I can show the difference. So I could either put in 3mm or I can put in full distance so you can see the difference. you only need key dimensions on your drawings. Okay, I'm going to print screen that, pop that in there. Okay, now to meet what we call British standards, just going to make the white transparent so that we don't overlap. Your drawings need to be positioned in a particular way. So your plan view should be at the top. So that's my plan view. Need to make that one transparent. Okay, then the side elevation will go there, and then the end view goes on the end. Okay, now you want them all roughly the same size, so I'm just going to shrink that down so it looks approximately the same size, and they should be in relation to each other. Okay, so you can position them on the page, and there you have, slightly big, but it's fine. There you have a working drawing for our box. It's quite nice also in a working drawing, you might have an isometric view, so I'm just going to switch back to the normal layer, take that off, and then if I go to camera, standard views, isometric, just looking at the wrong thing here. Okay. Hit print screen again. Set the transparent colour, shrink it down, and there you have your isometric view. That is a good layout for your working drawings, and that's what we would expect you to see once you've finished your final design. Okay, thank you for watching.